Sometimes the most powerful moments in anime aren't the fights or speeches, they're the silences. That pause before a confession, the calm after a battle, the quiet before a goodbye. When everything goes still, anime speaks the loudest. Because silence isn't emptiness, it's pure emotion. It's when words fade, and you just feel. A single look, a slow breath, a soft wind, and suddenly, you understand everything without a sound. That's the beauty of silence in anime. In a world full of noise and action, those quiet moments hit the deepest. Because when anime goes silent, that's when the story truly begins to speak. Why silence matters. In anime, silence isn't just the space between dialogue. It's a tool, a statement, a heartbeat that carries more meaning than words ever could. Think about it. Anime thrives on sound, emotional voice acting, powerful soundtracks, and the thunder of combat. But when all that vanishes, silence takes on a sacred role. It becomes the voice of emotion itself. When a director strips away the soundtrack, we're left with only what's real, the raw human pulse beneath all the animation. Silence amplifies pain, heightens connection, and slows time. In Your Lie in April, when Kusei's music fades and he just watches Kaori's empty hospital chair, there's no piano, no dialogue, just a void. That silence hurts. In A Silent Voice, when Shoya covers his ears and the world goes mute, the audience finally feels what silence means for him: isolation, regret, and slow redemption. Number 10. Violet Evergarden's letter scene. Violet Evergarden. There's a stillness in Violet's world that words can't touch. As she sits by the window, pen trembling in her hand, the only sounds are the soft scratch of ink and the faint rustle of paper. No swelling orchestral track, no dialogue to fill the air, just her, confronting the meaning of the word love. It's not a grand finale filled with tears or monologues. It's a quiet acceptance. Violet isn't writing for someone else anymore. She's writing for herself, for the girl who once knew nothing but war, now learning what it means to feel. Number 9. Leon stares at the screen. Serial Experiments Leon. The hum of machines fades. The static dies out. Lane sits in front of her computer, blank, motionless, surrounded by the low blue glow of her digital world. No music, no dialogue, no movement, just silence, and the weight of her existence pressing down. It's the kind of silence that doesn't comfort, it isolates. Leon has merged with the wired, yet she's never felt more alone. The absence of sound mirrors the void between her and the real world, a haunting representation of the loneliness that comes with hyperconnection. Number 8. Shinji in the Elevator. Neon Genesis Evangelion. A still elevator, 2 characters, 2 full minutes of silence. Shinji and Asuka stand side by side, motionless. No background music, no dialogue, just an almost unbearable pause. On paper, it's nothing. In execution, it's everything. That silence drips with unspoken pain, resentment, guilt, shame. All the things they can't say out loud. It's awkward, suffocating, and honest. Hideaki Anno didn't need a soundtrack here. He wanted us to feel the weight of 2 damaged souls trapped not just in an elevator, but in their own walls of emotion. Number 7. Death Parade's Dance of Stillness. Death Parade. In a series built on judgment and moral chaos, one moment stands apart. When Decim hesitates, a soul stands before him, awaiting its fate. The usual rhythm of questions and games halts. No ticking clock, no dramatic score, just silence. That pause is everything. It's the moment Decim, an arbiter designed to be emotionless, begins to understand what it means to feel. The silence becomes a heartbeat, slow, uncertain, human. It's no longer about life or death, it's about empathy, the fragile connection that separates judgment from understanding. Number 6. Akame's final. Goodbye to Tatsumi. Akame, ga kill. The battlefield is silent. The air hangs heavy with smoke and blood, but all you hear is the wind. Akame kneels beside Tatsumi's still body, her sword planted in the earth, her eyes trembling with restraint. No screams, no cries of vengeance, just quiet acceptance. She doesn't need to say goodbye. The silence is her farewell. That moment defines Akame, a warrior built to kill, yet capable of the deepest compassion. In that hush, her strength doesn't come from power. It comes from letting go. Silence becomes mercy. Number 5. The Campfire Scene. Attack on Titan, Season 4. Before humanity's final stand, the Survey Corps gathers for one last night together. There's laughter at first, awkward, forced, fragile. Then, as the fire crackles, the talking stops. The silence sets in like a weight, and everyone feels it. This could be the last night any of them live. No grand speeches, no heroic soundtrack, just the sound of fire and the soft shuffle of nervous hearts. It's a moment of humanity in a show defined by war, and when morning comes, that quiet will be gone, replaced by chaos. Number 4. Guts and Casca. After the eclipse, Berserk. The world has ended. The sky bleeds. What was once love is now horror. Guts sits beside Casca, broken beyond words, and the scene goes quiet. No soundtrack, no narration, just breathing, just emptiness. That silence doesn't soothe, it scars. It's the sound of trauma settling in. For Guts, words are useless. They can't bring back what was lost or undo what's been done. That stillness after the eclipse is one of the darkest, most haunting silences in anime history. Number 3. Menma's farewell, Anohana, the flower we saw that day. When Menma finally appears before her friends one last time, the world slows down. The tears, the smiles, the unfinished childhood memories, all suspended in that quiet. She says her goodbye softly, and then silence. The sound fades, the screen glows, and you feel the ache of a decade's worth of grief lift, just for a second. That silence isn't tragedy, it's closure. It's the moment we realize that healing doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with stillness, the quiet kind that lets you breathe again. Number 2. Itachi's farewell, Naruto, Shippuden. Rain falls. Sasuke stands trembling, exhausted, as Itachi approaches. No music plays, just the faint patter of water and the sound of two brothers breathing. And then, Itachi reaches out, one final time, and taps Sasuke's forehead. No words, just silence. That tiny gesture says everything. I'm sorry. I love you. It's over. For years, fans waited for this moment, and when it came, it wasn't epic or loud. It was gentle. It was quiet. Number 1. Spike's final bang. Cowboy Bebop. There's no noise in space, and fittingly, Spike's final moment echoes that truth. After the gunfight, he stands, wounded but free, gazing at the stars. His hand forms a gun. His lips curl into a faint smile. Bang. Then, silence. No music, no credits, no voiceover, just stillness. That one word, followed by that vast quiet, is the perfect ending to his story. A man who lived between life and death, dream and despair. The silence that follows isn't emptiness, it's legacy. The hidden power of silence. Silence in anime isn't a pause, it's a heartbeat. When the dialogue fades and the music stops, the story starts to breathe. Every glance, every motion, every heartbeat becomes a line of emotion. When Violet pauses over her letter, the quiet holds her healing. When Eren stares at the sea, the silence between waves asks what freedom truly costs. When Shinji sits in the hospital room, the beeping isn't noise, it's proof he's still here. Silence connects us to the characters in ways words can't. It gives space to feel, grief too heavy to speak, love too deep to explain. Moments of quiet in anime like Made in Abyss or Mushoku Tensei aren't empty, they're truth. The soft wind, the flicker of a fire, the still air after loss. They stay with us long after the scene fades. Now it's your turn. Which silent moment stayed with you the longest? Was it the rain over L in Death Note, the goodbye in Clannad After Story, or maybe a soft smile in your name? Share it below. Let's honor the beauty of stillness in anime, because silence isn't the end of emotion. It's when emotion becomes too strong for words. Silence doesn't end a story. It carries it, in echoes, in memory, and in the quiet corners of our hearts.